My Literacy Memoir by Michael Mullen. I am a junior math major who's from a small town on Long Island. From kindergarten all the way to high school, I was a part of the Locust Valley Central School District, and as many of you already know, me and English or reading or writing have never gotten along. Take that last sentence, for example. I typed and retyped it several times, and it's still not grammatically correct. From a young age, I was always pushed by my parents as they wanted the best for me. Whether it was sports, school, or just being a good person, I always felt the need to be the best. For a while, my competitiveness grew bigger and bigger in and out of the classroom. I always wanted to do the best in all my classes, but I found myself behind in the reading category. It took me a while to notice as I thought highly of myself because I never realized I could be behind. I began to be pulled out of class for extra reading classes, and that's when it hit me. I had to try twice as hard in English than in math. But I avoided it as much as I could because I knew I wasn't good at it and wanted to hide it. That mentality has stuck with me, so I only read if I have to because it's not something I like, nor am I good at it, so why bother? As a 5th grader, I was so advanced in math that me and my friend had to go to the middle school to learn math with the 6th graders. This was a thrilling experience as I got to be in class with my brother and he was a year older than me. Math always got me excited as it came naturally to me and made logical sense. I was able to think of it as I do this, then I do this, then I do this. However, this is where English and reading comprehension confused me. I was never really good at picking up what was important of a story and what was fluff details. So my teachers tried giving me tips and tricks with highlighting and underlining. I was what they called highlighter happy and would end up with almost the whole thing highlighted and still miss the important parts. For me, reading words isn't always an issue for me. It is the understanding of the words and their meaning. I frequently would and do still notice myself zoning out while reading. I could read every word in my head perfectly, but 2 minutes later I wouldn't be able to recall one word I just read and would have to restart. Up to this point, there hasn't been much of a difference in classes between honors and regents, which are the 2 levels at my school, so I stayed in the higher classes, though my grades probably could have been better in the lower one, but I want to keep pushing myself. By the time I reached 9th grade, I knew the curriculum because of my brother, so I knew we did things like read Romeo and Juliet. I thought this might be a good time to focus a bit more and just go for a better grade. However, I found myself thinking it was too easy after being tested for years prior. I remained in the lower class the whole year, and it ended up not doing that much better because the pace of the class was too slow, and I zoned out and got lazy. From this point on, I knew I belonged in the higher level classes, but I would just have to work harder for it. However, I ended up working what I thought was smarter and not harder, and took every shortcut I could. This was something all my friends would do as well, so I followed along. I was able to fake my way through all the classes I needed, including IB English HL. I had the perspective of, when will I ever need to know about these books or plays ever again, so I only memorized the things we went over in class and could recite it well. Even though I had to write many papers, one thing that has never gotten better for me is my grammar. In math, it doesn't usually matter what way things are worded in an answer as long as you can show how you got there and everything is logically sequenced. Grammar is something I see as, you get what I'm trying to say, so who cares about a stupid comma, right? You get my point. Numbers have always felt more natural to me, so I chose to stick with that. Through my K-12 years, I just did my best to fake it till I made it, which it has gotten me this far, but has left me with a sincere disliking for the subject and requires me to need some extra help here and there. That's my story. Thanks for listening.